What is up, dudes and dudettes and everything else in between? How y'all doing? It is scorching fucking hot out here on the East Coast in the so-called nation of Quebec. But what it is I'm going to talk about will probably break more fucking records or probably cause more forest fires than anything else we've ever seen in this fucking country. This is the topic of... well, I mean, what can you call it? It's more of a commentary on the dynamics between men and women. Feminism versus the manosphere. Tradcons versus boss babes and all of that good shit. And I wanted to just talk about this. I wanted to revisit an old topic that for some reason bothered some individuals when I made a video about this. I made a video that was pretty innocuous and just talking about my support of MGTOWs, where men feel like the system is against them, so fuck you, I'm just gonna do my own thing, and they're gonna live their life as they see fit, according to their own standards and rules. But you're gonna do that anyway, so why call yourself a MGTOW? Just enjoy life. Why put a label on it? And for some reason, that got me in trouble. A lot of dudes at the time didn't like me saying that. Not quite sure. I think it's kind of bizarre, but ever since then until now, I never really revisited the topic. But seeing as I've gained experience, I have a better sense of self, I will try to do my best to just flesh out my thoughts when it comes to this thing online. Okay, now of course, the internet has a way of letting itself show its ugly side and its beautiful side. It's almost like we're like anthropomorphizing the internet. The beauty of this discussion is, yeah, there's more online discussion, people are more open about it, but at the same time, you're gonna have some people that will come out and have some vitriolic of views on any topic or whatever the case is. That's just part of the natural discourse of conversation. The online, the digital square is kind of like the underground public square, I guess you could say, in some form or fashion. My thing with this whole thing is, although it is good that we are having these conversations, the problem is it's creating echo chambers. The problem is there's a lack of nuance. The problem is also where people will go into this thing where I like to call the spiral purity shit test, or just purity shit test, where if you don't fit a particular mold that a woman is supposed to just be a particular way, therefore you're not worthy, you're disqualified, you have every reason to be hated and just be criticized. And of course, this is coming from a woman's perspective, so if you're not interested in hearing that, nobody's forcing you to watch the video. So to me, I've never, forums have been a thing prior, I think, to my existence, I would say. I'm a kid of the 90s. I never really was on Tumblr or 4chan or any of these online forums. I was never really into that for some freaking reason, but Reddit was a thing back when I was, Reddit was a thing back when I was in college, and I never really cared for it even back then, but I heard of it since my time on the internet. But I'm not your typical millennial where I'm eternally online. I am online as I am offline, and so people have this weird perception of life, even though people say, oh guys, go touch some grass, you can still carry some of these ideas from the internet into your personal life. I don't think people really consider that, but just be careful with some of the things that you guys read out there, because some of it is bullshit, and some people are actually good at playing up an act in real life too. This is why I made it a point for me, if there are some dudes and people in general that just have such an ego about them, and they're all big about it, and there's nothing backing what it is that they're saying, they're just, that type of main character energy, I stay away from that, because, fuck you, I've dealt enough with those kinds of people in my life, and they're just nothing more than mosquitoes just to annoy the fuck out of me, and whatever the case is. But I think this whole gender wars thing that we're seeing online to a point is kind of a manufactured psyop. I have never seen such a discourse in my fucking life, but the thing is, I'm kind of disconnected from it, only because I'm not in the dating market. I haven't been in the dating market for the last 7 years, and I think you'll find some of those problems in that sphere, in the dating market, basically. But I'm not there. So from the things that I hear online, it's like, holy shit, it does sound pretty bad out there. Yeah, it's getting bad out there, guys. And my sister recently ended a 7-year relationship with a guy that she was also engaged to for the last 2-3 years, and she had to end that shit. And for those that have been following me for a while, it's that guy with the air fryer situation. So you'll know the meme I'm talking about. So he wants a woman that doesn't cook with an air fryer. I don't know, that's such a weird jab at a person, but it's a funny one at that. It's like, oh, okay. There's probably a reason why he resents air fryers. It's like me versus the world against women with air fryers and whatever. So again, I think part of this is like a manufactured psyop that is supposed to pin men and women against each other because, divide and conquer. That's how this narrative and how the whole shebang fucking works when you're trying to control a population. The other thing that we could get into is, the fucking utter stupidity of, just bringing women and men down to their basics. Like, yeah, women are just there for their beauty, and you could birth children. It's okay. I think really when I want to go with this, mainly for this topic, might have to do a part 2. But I guess in terms of cultural commentary, let me just give my points when it comes to feminism versus the manosphere. To me, these are just mirrored images of one another, okay? There is nothing wrong with a guy and a chick embracing their autonomy. I am not for either side. I see value on both sides, but as soon as you start to pin each other and start to vilify one another, you lose me. That doesn't mean to say that toxic behavior doesn't exist. What people seem to forget is a lot of it is projection. A lot of it comes from trauma that hasn't been dealt with and integrated properly. I find it really funny when a lot of dudes start to tell women, oh, you're too much in your masculine energy. It goes back to what I was saying before, that if you're going to start putting a woman in a fucking box, you're going to lose the plot line. A woman is not just simply this nurturing, empathetic, loving creature. No. We're more than that, And this whole thing of just degrading it to like utilizing your masculine energy. If you motherfuckers knew and got a deeper understanding of it esoterically, that comment is just fucking laughable. And I just like roll my eyes and say, okay, fuck you. You guys know absolutely nothing. But it's also wrong of women to just say that everything is like toxic masculinity. Yes, I do think that there are some aspects of masculinity that are toxic in the behaviors, and when you get to the extreme side of things, when you don't have discipline and control, the problem is some of it, the word that I think a lot of you want to look for is machismo. That's essentially what I think is going on. Machismo just doesn't get any attention when it comes to stuff like that. But I think feminism has a place in terms of it looking at the difficulties of the woman, her place in society. But we're not talking about it to the point where she's superior to the guy. Men and women are complementary to one another, okay? In my relationship, there's no one leader. It's situational. It also is on the basis of the person's personality too. For example, with me, I'm impulsive. But there are times where my impulsivity comes in handy. My other half, on the other hand, he's older than me. But the thing is, he has more of a methodical structure where he likes to look at things from different points of view, think about it and then eventually come to a decision where he thinks the situation will call for the best result, right? But the thing is, both qualities and characteristics of each other alone has its issues. But because him and I are together, we somehow manage to make it work. There's a balance, there's a harmony that's going on there. There's no one person that leads the fucking relationship, okay? We talk to one another. We're not codependent, we're interdependent. Where it is that I lack, he's able to help me out, and vice versa. It's a weird thing whenever I hear stuff like this when it comes to feminism and MGTOW and the manosphere. That's just internet jargon. That's all it is. It's just internet jargon. And now let's get on to the topic, I think, really about boss babes and the tradcons. So once again, I think both of these are manufactured, especially when it comes to women. This pertains a lot to a fucking woman. I don't believe in traditional conservatism, and I also reject certain aspects of modernity. I think that certain things that could be beneficial for an individual should be embraced, but not be imposed, okay? I don't believe that a woman's mission in life is just to be cooking and cleaning. Why do we have to make that a gender thing? How many fucking dudes that I know are proud to garden? That they're house proud? I don't know if that's just a European thing, but a lot of the men that I see in my family like cooking. It's, why? Are they effeminate men because of that? That's so stupid. And boss babes, yeah, no, I have a fucking life. I'm not going to live my life only dedicating my time to work for another person. I have this, what the French call la joie à vivre. The enjoyment of life, the joy of life. You realize, yeah, there's a time and place for work, but there's a time and place to do things that you want to do. Work is only part of it. It's not the whole thing. I've always lived my life based off of that, and even in this shitty economy, I'm still living my life based off of that. I'm not gonna work until I'm gonna be a fucking slave to that system. Sorry, nope. I'm not doing that shit. But to just say that this is like the only option that a woman has is so fucking stupid, you know? And I think it's lame. It's just, it's like, really, these are your two options? Can women have it all? It's difficult to have it all. Who says that we're gonna have everything? Who says that? Who fucking said that? We're gonna have what we could fucking achieve. That's the point. But where I think a lot of people tend to get really fucked up about this is the trade-off when it comes to being a housewife versus working all the time. And I think I'm going to make that a part 2, but these are my final thoughts on this in the part 1. Peace out.